Cauldron Films has been more of a blip on the radar when compared to companies like Vinegar Syndrome and Arrow Video. But then, out of nowhere, they had the rights to restore Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead in 4K, and it ended up being their first UHD release. About 5 months ago, a limited edition version of that came out with a slipcover featuring exclusive artwork, a CD soundtrack, a sticker set, and a fold-out poster. And then a second version was released featuring the alternate Gates of Hell artwork and title. I've owned this movie so many times over the years. I've owned it on DVD, I owned it on Blu-ray twice from Arrow Video, once in the standard Blu-ray they released about 10 years ago, and then again on the limited edition Blu-ray they released a couple years ago. So I felt okay not picking up another limited edition version of it. I'm kind of sad that I missed out on the Gates of Hell slipcover because it looks gorgeous. But I feel good about owning the standard edition release on 4K, which is now available, so let's go over that today. First, we've got the case art that was also available with the limited edition sets with the exclusive new artwork. On the inside, we have got an insert featuring new releases. And then, this is a 3-disc set. First, we have the Blu-ray with the film. Next, we have a Blu-ray of all the bonus features. And last, we have the 4K UHD disc. Now, before we get into my review of the restoration, let's go over all the bonus features that are included in this release. And usually, I just list them up on the screen as I go through them. But let's do something a little bit different this time, and I will take you to the disc menu, and we'll check them out there. Right now we're looking at the Blu-ray disc for the bonus features only. The only things that are included on the Blu-ray disc and the 4K disc for the movie are the 4 commentary tracks. Everything else is included here. And I do have this on mute right now because it is playing the theme to the movie, and I don't want to get flagged for copyright. So let's go through this. We have got some interviews, Zombie Kings, Requiem for Bob, the meat-munching movies of Gino De Rossi, which is a look at a bunch of his special effects work in movies throughout the years, Carlo of the Living Dead, then a few Q&As. We've got a Q&A with Venetino Venetini and Ruggero Deodato, one with Catriona McCall, and Music for a Flesh Feast, one with Fabio Frizzi. Then an archival video intro from 2001 with Catriona McCall, a trip through Bonaventure Cemetery, which is about a 5-minute video of what appears to be drone footage, just slowly creeping through the cemetery with some creepy music in the back, so you don't get a host taking you through the cemetery this time, so it's a little bit different than usual. Then some more archival interviews, trailers, and an image gallery. Now let's go all the way down to the image gallery, click left, and then hit enter, and what happens is it takes us to a full VHS version of the movie. Click that there for you. See, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and we get a full VHS copy of City of the Living Dead with the Gates of Hell title. Just flash through that quickly for you. All right, and now go back. Then there is a second thing hidden on this menu. Last time we hit left. Now that we're on Image Gallery again, let's hit right, enter, and it takes you to Christopher George's Playgirl spread from 1974. So if you press left, you get the movie on VHS, and I gotta get out of here. So if you press left and enter, you get a full VHS version of the movie, and if you hit right and enter, you get full-on dong. So don't confuse those two. But now let's get back into the other room. Now let's talk about the restoration. First off, it is housed on a BD66 disc, and that only includes the movie. No bonus features on that disc, so there's gonna be plenty of room on there. And the movie itself is presented in Dolby Vision. If you know City of the Living Dead, you will know it is a grainy movie across every format, DVD, Blu-ray, and now 4K. It has been a grainy movie. It was a low-budget movie that was released in 1980, which is now 43, pushing 44 years ago. And there's a lot of conflicting information about what stock was actually used during the production, but it was a grainy film stock. That is not cleaned up here. There is no DNR. It is presented exactly as it should be, a grainy movie. In fact, I really want to stop talking about grain in my little mini reviews because, you know, anytime a movie has grain, it should be there. In fact, I think I want to start mentioning more if a movie doesn't have grain that should have grain that's been scrubbed out. That seems more important than an old lower budget movie that has grain. And this is actually the first Fulci movie I've owned on 4K. I own Zombie, only the Blu-ray. I own House by the Cemetery, only on Blu-ray. I own The Psychic, only on Blu-ray. I owned this movie originally, only on Blu-ray. I own The New York Ripper, only on Blu-ray. I own The Beyond, only on Blu-ray. I don't think that one has a 4K release yet, but should be coming at some time from Grindhouse Releasing, I think. So this is the first time I'm experiencing Fulci on 4K. And even though it is a very grainy movie, and there are some color fluctuations here and there throughout, and there are a couple shots that are exposed as being out of focus now that I haven't noticed before. But to my eye, the movie looks very leveled out. And I mean that in a good way. It seems like the color fluctuations were more intense before. It seems like the blacks were not as deep before. Of course, you're getting Dolby Vision with this. So the colors are even now. The black levels are deep. The detail is very strong, but especially in close-ups, some of those shots you can see every single pore in a person's face, and it makes it look like a movie that was shot now that was made to look like a late 70s or early 80s movie. So as my first Fulci 4K, I am very, very pleased with this, and I look forward to picking up more 4Ks when I can afford them. And also the audio tracks. This does not have the newer 5.1 audio track that was on the Scorpion and the Arrow releases. This only includes the two original mono tracks in English and Italian, and that is what I like. Don't create a new track, just present the audio of the movie how it was originally. Clean it up, make it sound good, and present it as it originally was, and it sounds great. Just to give you an example, I usually, if I'm just watching a movie by myself, I'll maybe watch it, in the mid-20s on the volume range. This, I was watching down on 17, so it is a strong mono audio track. It sounds great. And now, I think let's just wrap this up. If you have any questions about this, you know the drill, just ask them down in the comments. I'll do my best to try and answer them for you. I hope you thought this was somewhat informative about the standard edition of this release. And as always, I will wish you pleasant days and spooky nights. Until next time.